What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're going to Delft, exploring Delft, Netherlands, new church, old church, and Vermeer's grave. Get over and show around the world, guys, all the love of the world. We're already subbed up. We're smashing the like button. Let's see what we got. If you're from Delft, shout out to you. I do love the patterns. I got some of the Delft patterns in the background somewhere. They're back there. I got some shopping bags and some other things. And I like a scruffy dog.
In the historic center of Delft, we're going to take a little tour today. Delft is really beautiful. It's really, really old. It is the place that Vermeer really liked to paint, although all of the artwork is in The Hague. People here are very proud that Vermeer called this place home. The girl with the pearl earring was actually painted here.
Seriously, one of my favorite paintings of all time.
One thing that we don't get in either Canada or America is good bread.
Facts. Facts. We get bread that lasts for months. Marshmallow bread.
When I first moved to the US, I thought the bread sucked, even worse than it does in Canada. But here, they know how to make bread.
Yo, even Canada's got better bread than us? What the? Look at all of the options. It's like limitless.
Delft has a place called the Vermeer Center. You can go in and learn about the life and times of Vermeer and see some of his works. The girl with the pearl earring is, of course, in The Hague, but there's other stuff here as well. I'm not going to go in. I'm a little bit museumed out after yesterday, but it's definitely
Oh, where did we go yesterday? What
an option
museum?
here if you want to go in and check out the life of Vermeer.
Count me in. I'm down.
Behind me right here is the new church. It is really, really tall, and it's the place where William of Orange is, his tomb is in there, so we're going to go in and check that out. I'm about to walk up the tower right now. They recommended that I do this first because it's early in the morning and better to get the exercise now than later in the day after you're a little bit worn out.
Or when it gets harder.
So let's go. I'm halfway up the tower. Actually, I'm about a quarter of the way up the tower, and I'm wishing they had an elevator already.
No kidding. That's a whole spiral staircase and a half.
These steps are really steep. This is really good exercise.
You could just go there and walk up once a day for some exercise.
I only thought I was at the top. Apparently, there's a long way to go.
Holy
You get the pendulum going in the
crap.
background. I am definitely not in the shape I once was. Although I'd like to meet the guy who had to walk up these steps 4 or 5 times a day. He must have been in excellent shape. I've made it to another level. How'd they get this stuff up here?
It had to have been built with the church. There's
This
no
stuff
way.
is way bigger than the width of those steps. Maybe back in the medieval times, they had cranes we didn't know about or something. But this stuff looks really, really heavy. I don't know how they got it.
Maybe they brought it up piece by freaking meticulous piece and then put it back
Really cool
together.
looking though. I haven't made it to the top yet. So
You
I'm
gotta
missing
stop
the
for
bells.
this.
Well, I made it to the top of the tower, and
Yeah,
for this
you
view,
did.
it was totally worth it. Just look at that.
Look how freaking
I'm not sure
far
how far
you
up
can
we are,
see.
but it's pretty high. The good news is I'm a couple kilos lighter than when I started, but this is an amazing view. I'll put a little information about the tower so you'll know how to get here and how much it costs to get in and how high it is. But for now, I'm going to go enjoy the sights from the top.
Yes. I'm glad we get to enjoy the sights with you. At least the banisters on the side are tall. At least they're tall.
That was incredible. That's an amazing view up here. But all amazing views have to come to an end, so now I gotta make my way down. Hopefully the walk down is gonna be a little bit better than the walk up, so we'll see. And it's a good thing too, because I'm running out of battery on my camera and I forgot to bring the extra one. It's in my backpack, which I put in a storage locker downstairs. Here we go, all the way down. Right now we're in the new church, but before I show you around here, I want to give you a little bit of advice for the tower. First of all, it's a lot of steps, so if you have any mobility issues at all, you might not want to do it. It's really, really high, and it's a lot of exercise, and of course, obviously wheelchairs, people using crutches, it's just not possible. When you're coming down, though, you sometimes get into a rhythm where you're doing going down. Just be very careful, because there are a couple places where you can bump your head, and two, while most of the steps are uniform, there are a few steps that are a little bit thinner. So if you get into that rhythm, you might miss them and just tumble down.
Oh no, that's the last thing you want to do. I appreciate a good safety brief. That one was needed.
But it's totally worth it. It's just an amazing view, as you saw. But just take those things into consideration before you go there. Now let's go look at the church. This is the burial monument.
Those cherubs. Is it cherubs? No, it's just little people. I would say they look unhappy, man. Look at them. They're just crying away.
This is the burial monument of King William of Orange. It's the biggest thing in this church, even bigger than the altar. Brick that you see behind me here was once overlaid with white plaster, and it was taken off quite some time ago to reveal the natural brick, which I think you'll agree probably looks a lot better than the white plaster that was there before.
Way better.
It's got some amazing stained glass windows, and it's just a huge church.
Huge. It's massive. I can't think of any churches in my city that would even compare to this remotely.
One of the reasons I like going to churches like this is I get to see some of the historical figures that I grew up learning about in the history books. For example, William of Orange here at the church. It still gives you a little bit of goosebumps knowing that someone who is important to the history of the world, you saw where they were buried. So I like to see things like that. So it was just an amazing church, and that's the new one, so I can't even imagine what the old one looks like, and that's where we're going next. Now we're inside the old church, and see this stucco here? I would imagine that that's what the new church looked like before they removed all the stucco and exposed the old brick. I think the stucco looks fine, but I think the brick
does have a lot, even though it's in the new church, it has a lot older feeling. The brick
does look a lot better and more genuine. So let's take a little tour of this place. I don't even know anything about it, so I'm just going to be kind of making it up as I go along.
Hey, make it up. Every church that you guys have is bigger than the churches here, man. Everyone is like a cathedral.
I don't know who this guy is, but he looks to be someone important. He's at the head of the church. He looks to be someone that was really highly thought of. Okay, we'll go to Wikipedia, and I think I found out who this guy is. It looks like he is naval hero Piet Hein. And if you can see from the inscription up here, which is in Latin, it says Petrus Heinius. So I'm assuming this is the same guy. One of the things that I've been kind of feeling a bit guilty about in this church is that everywhere you go, you're kind of walking on graves.
Yeah, that would make me feel uncomfortable. that would make me feel a little bit uneasy because I don't like walking across people's graves. Even in the cemeteries here, I don't like walking across the grass where I know that someone's buried under. I feel like I feel like I'm intruding on their space or something.
Graves.
Like.
There's really not anywhere else to walk,
Yeah,
so you have to walk over these people's graves who've been buried for, hundreds of years. It feels a little disrespectful.
Yes.
One thing is for sure, though, it is freezing in here. I'm not sure if they still have church services, but I can sort of see my breath.
That's like legit cold.
But it's really beautiful in here, and it's really...
Look at this window. All of the details in the glass.
Really quiet. And one of the things that you'll notice is that there are small white boxes like the one right here behind me that show you the important people who are buried here and gives you a little bit of a history of their contributions to Dutch society. So that's really cool. And that's another way I found out that Piet Hein was the person that was lying over there. Right behind me is the mausoleum or grave of a man named Martin Tromp. He's a Dutch naval hero, and his last name is Tromp, T-R-O-M-P, not T-R-U-M-P. This guy actually served his country honorably.
Wow!
So it's really, really cool to see him as well. We're probably not going to put that in the video.
You did!
Get some Trump trolls in the comments.
I remain neutral.
Another gentleman and I were looking very hard for the grave of Johannes Vermeer because we saw this marker here and we expected it to be one of the larger gravestones, but
it's going to be something quite
very,
tiny.
very small gravestone compared to the other ones. So it was a little bit hard to find. Plus, it's a little worn down. I suspect that's because people have been bending down and touching it for basically hundreds of years. So if you're looking for it, it's a little grave right at the head of the marker. One thing that always amazes me about Europe and other places is the sheer size of the churches. If you look behind me, you can see that's the new church, and I'm not sure exactly what this one is, but they are just massive, massive structures. And you have to think that a large portion of the treasury of these countries at the time was just poured into building these massive, massive houses of worship. I don't know how they could afford to do anything else, really.
It comes in handy, though, because if you're anywhere in the city and you look, you're going to be able to see the top of the church. You're going to know about where you're at. That seems like the easiest way to maintain your locations. Look for these landmarks. Look for the giant cathedral. And okay, before it was on my left side, now it's on my right side, so I'm on the other side. All right.
But it just gives you a little bit of insight into the power of the church and the riches that were kind of hoarded by the churches back then, probably to the detriment of the people who actually went and attended the churches, if they were allowed to attend at all.
I like the lanterns in the tree.
When you buy a ticket to the churches and the tower, with your ticket you can go to a coffee shop later and get free coffee at a select few coffee shops around the church. I decided to up the ante a little bit with this delicious brownie. I think I'm making a big mistake here. I think I'm going to be wired for the rest of the day.
You should never getting a brownie is never a mistake, though.
Delicious.
To be continued.
More stairs. It's cold up here, though. Oh well. Onward and upward, as they say. I'll rest for a minute.
Nothing wrong with taking a break. Hey, absolutely a cool look at the churches. Get over and show around the world, guys, all the love in the world. Do it today. The link's right there inside the description. Get over there and check them out. Smash the like button if you liked it, the dislike button, but I won't believe you. Till the next one, I'm the Combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back.